You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering the anime that aired the week of March the 15th to March the 21st, 2025, starting with Sakamoto Days, episode 10, Bathhouse, Roughhouse, which I think might be my favourite episode so far. Just because it's just
too.
Constant slapstick.
Well, bringing it back to your gimmick killers here. We have very on-the-nose names. This guy's called You, OU being the term for hot water. It's just, okay. His name for what he does.
And it's like you had an idea for in your Jackie Chan folio of where you could put action scenes, like a bathhouse, and it's like you can't really make a whole movie out of that. It's like, can you make a single comic or a first half of an episode out of it? Absolutely. Don't stretch out the concept too fucking far, and you'll do well.
You know, this killer bathhouse. We had that murderer's house in Golden Kamuy. It's a little bit like that, but if it was a bathhouse.
Yeah, the Sakamoto family have gone to the bathhouse because Shin and herself are still fucked up from fighting for a considerable portion of time, which I do like. There's like, yeah, you got a bit of muscle tension in there. You need to work that out. It's like, we'll go to the local bathhouse. Unfortunately for them, it's run by a rundown assassin. I want to say like a millennial assassin who had to move back in with his parents. It's a very common thing. I'm not sure with assassins, definitely with his age group, but and he's running the bathhouse rather than doing assassination, but he's kind of like checking the wanted poster. And they call him out by Sakamoto several times.
You have to remember that Sakamoto is also a millennial.
The thing that fucking weirds me out, man. He's way too. Yeah, that's true.
Then he walks in with his family, his happy life, rubbing it on my face. So wouldn't I increase the sun and temperature to lethal heights?
But fortunately, he's weak, but he's good at tricks and traps, and he's tricked out his family sauna with death traps, but sauna-based death traps, not like spikes fall out of the ceiling, like the bath is too hot. But I mean, like way too hot, like boiling a person hot, that kind of thing.
The sauna's too hot. I think there is like something. Oh, the fountain is too strong.
The water pressure, the bubbly fountain thing, where as Sakamoto is able to hang on for dear life.
The massage jets.
That's the lumbar, that's the stuff.
Yes. The recurring joke is while it's throwing Shin around the place, Sakamoto is enjoying this.
This is exactly what his tense, muscular but fat body needed, and also the recurring joke of the two kids like looking on at all this fucking nonsense happening, random children, and going like, "Hey Dad, can we try that?" And he's like, "Yeah, when you're older," that kind of thing. The dad not paying attention. I did like that recurring joke. It also runs contrary to what's going on in the comic currently, that this is totally normal in this fucking world. No one pays attention to this weird shit. It's great.
Yeah, Shin frozen in an ice cube. Typical Bathhouse shenanigans. The heart of the community.
And then the second half is we've got to contend with Lou's past showing up and demanding that she comes home and runs her family's criminal organization.
And I get, like, in a straight thing, this would be done fairly serious and stuff, but I don't even think, were they even looking for Lou, or were they also just happening to go to the same family restaurant? I don't think that was entirely clear.
It's a small part of town, it's like, always say things in the vicinity. The guy called fucking Wu-Tang, for God's sake.
But like them getting immediately like their asses kicked, himself and the other guy, but also like cockily like folding his arms like, you think you're so tough, bunch of crappy hitmen, like as he has 2 plates of pasta covering his face, lying backwards on a table after getting his ass kicked. I'm just like, this guy's all right. And also the weird creep that he is if it's not my general thing of funniness, but the fact that he actually like knocked her head back by the stream of jets from his nose of blood. I was just like, that was a good visual. That did get me laughing in terms of that's too extreme.
The actor for Lou does a very good scream.
Yes. Yeah.
You hear it a lot. Don't get heard often enough after.
Yes, and
Yeah.
whenever she starts acting like a mob boss is when he gets turned on. So when she's scolding him, telling him to be the leader, and then later on when she says they're in on the competition, they're gonna go up against to determine her future. He also is excited by that. And of course, this guy, he's not a physical guy, so this is going to be a competition of gambling.
Yeah, I'll play it for her.
And it's not that they've agreed to it. Sakamoto turned him down on it, but Lou picked him up on it. It's just like, I'll tell you who put the bounty on your head, or I'll give you information regarding that if you can defeat me. And Sakamoto's like, nah, we'll just find it out on our own, which I do appreciate.
Yes.
But just Lou going like, I want to nip this in the fucking bud right fucking now, and this is the handiest way to do it. So, but
yes.
I like the initial thing of like, yeah, they could do well with the whole. We have a psychic on the team, so gambling is going to be easy. He's like, I don't know how to play any gambling games, and that it works as like its second part to the bathhouse thing, because he's, as a guy who grew up in a lab, he does not know how a bathhouse works, and is therefore is like, I guess this is normal. I guess nothing about this is wrong. So again, he does not understand the outside world as well. He's naive in that regard. So it's a good combination.
Sakamoto also does not know how any of these games work either.
Because Sakamoto's a fucking idiot is the different reason. Yeah.
And while they're having this conversation, the other guy has got 3 million yen already. That's where we leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if they can kind of tail this one off before, because the next one would be the all you get until July.
Yeah, I was going to say going into the next arc. I know the guy
stop in the middle of this.
It's like,
yeah,
there's no time to do the next arc. Even accounting for like how it's a bit bitty, but so maybe they'll just be them showing up. Then we wrap up Orb with episode 25. Question mark?
Question was that's it.
Question.
Was in Japanese,
question,
it's like
the question mark symbol, or just go, huh?
What? Yeah,
that noise,
my particular reaction to some of the events I contain with this is like, huh? What? Where did that come out of?
Yes, it's a bit. If you look on the Wikipedia page, what's his surname again?
Albert Brzezinski.
Yeah, it's like,
does it show up on it now? Yeah.
No, it's like not much is known about his life up until a certain age, which is essentially how they could fill in all the stuff right up until you get to the end credits, where before the end credits we get these text pieces, which very much
literal things that definitely did fucking happen.
Yeah.
Now you've been educated.
Like, well, you've had your fun with your make-believe stories. Here's some real things that happen. Which
the boy's name was Copernicus.
Yes, pretty much. Now, go to your local library and learn more. And don't believe what you've been told in this cartoon.
I mean, that's one of the core tenets of the thing. That
yes.
Like the thing I said last week is literally said as text this week. It was like, you need to have doubt and belief at the same fucking time, and used independently of each other at the same time in different regards. Like, know when is the right time for either. And I'm just like, that is so appropriate for the modern world in which we live in, but also back then, obviously.
Yes, yeah. Because is it like this real quote unquote Raphael ends up killing his dad?
I think I've seen people refer to him as Raphael 2, like just with the number 2 just slapped.
I feel like that's. Yeah, then when he's talking all the flashback over with the priest, and the priest gives him the sort of the perspective that he needs to balance out his dad's approach and Raphael 2's approach, and that made him realize, yeah, okay, Baker, I will take up your fun offer of going to university after all.
I thought it was interesting, the whole like come to the gentleman's, well, the gentle scientists club, where you learn all kinds of new things. It's like, shit, I gotta go home and take notes, even though this conversation is really fascinating. Your man just like, oh yeah, no worries, kid, I don't mind. But and arriving back home to see his teacher has murdered his dad, he's like, I was hoping
your dad was holding you back, kid. He's holding you back. Had to get him out of the picture, see?
Remember the way I said I'd kill for knowledge? I didn't just mean me. I meant other people as well. And he said he had this information. I said we'll be co-writers on it. You're not that smart anyway, so I can like I'll give you equal credit anyway. But he wouldn't. He said he'd burn it rather than give it to me. So I stabbed him with this knife that I have here, and I'm not gonna stab you, kid. That's not part of it. It's like this is my important lesson to you. And I liked his kind of voiceover. Like later, he was fucking arrested because like immediately after this, the townspeople arrested him because he fucking stabbed a guy. That's bad.
And there's a witness who can tell everybody who did it.
Yeah, that small child is like, yeah, my tutor stabbed my dad. Yeah, it's fairly cut and dry. Did this happen? We don't fucking know. I'm going to assume no, it did not fucking happen in reality. But like for the purposes of our story, it did happen. But yeah, the conversation with the priest where they kind of work it out. I think what was it? The priest is he's one of the two monks from the prior part. I'm trying to remember. Is he the one that was burned at the stake, or was he the other?
It's kind of like Bedeni because it's very very in shadow.
Yeah.
It seems to have like some guy blonde tresses there, but I don't know. Like, is it the eye patch because he can have an either eye? I think his eyes are just in shadow, so you can't. Maybe he does have an eye patch. We don't know that.
But it's the idea that they can take characters from the first part, which was definitely 100% fictional, and the second part, which is mostly fictional, but not entirely fictional, because that guy did exist in reality.
It's just you can kind of see there's like it might be Bedeni, and then he says this person, oh, well, I've got like a way of heart too. Like, no, I betrayed my friend one time. It's just fun saying, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can play around. This is Bedeni too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it is. I think Dwayne's right. I think it is.
I think it's one of the other two monks. I can't remember which one it is.
It's the two monks who were working with Novak. It's one of those.
Sorry, the two Inquisitor monks is what I should have said. Yeah.
Yeah, from
right.
But I think you're right now. I think the long hair is supposed to like invoke Bedeni. Is like we're getting repeat other versions of the characters and shit.
Yeah, maybe this again, like this Raphael is well. I guess there could be a dude who fits the description somewhere in the world. Here he is.
Well, yeah, because that ties into the hallucinated Raphael talking to Novak as if we could have existed in another world and time and things might have been different. I guess in this other world and time, Raphael was worse.
In this one, he was murderous for knowledge to other people, not himself.
When you see, like, when he was this, like, when you see, like, as a boy, when he was this disingenuous little shit, all right, like,
yes,
so that would only get exacerbated for more opposition you put to him.
And this one seems to from this Raphael 2 seems to come from like a similar kind of background from what little he speaks of it. It's like didn't come from privilege, got raised with an education, but now he can work that and get a better thing. It's just like thinks highly of himself is a self-made man, that kind of thing. Which could turn out very bad, and obviously this version does turn out extremely bad. But he says to the baker, I do want to go to college. That's cool. And as he's passing by in town, just having a walk through town, he overhears a I guess not accidentally delivered letter, but a letter that definitely should not be delivered in this fucking universe. But
yes,
other than that, it's to the right address at the very least.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. That was right up my street. The idea of a letter delivered sent in one universe, accidentally getting delivered in a different one.
Well, at least Petrucci got that body after all, or would have if she hadn't died and been buried and someone else lives here.
I like that the guy is going to take the money. He doesn't understand it, but hey, if there's money due to whoever's living here, he wants it.
That's the thing I looked up after. The Potecki. I can't fucking say the word. I'm terrible. Potecki. I feel like I'm Potecki. I'm terrible at Polish. Anyway, it's one of the richest families in Poland from the 15th century on. So the money he made from this book, it just paid dividends down the line. I was just like, it was
Potocki in the first.
Potocki. Okay, sorry. I'm terrible pronunciation, but I liked that. I was just like, okay, so you did your research. It's like, who would make a lot of money off of this? Who had a lot of money historically? And it was these guys. But just him overhearing this conversation between a postman and a thing, and a guy going like, on the movements of the earth. The Earth doesn't move. The fucking thing moves around it. Question mark?
Wait a
And
minute.
that's your show, except for the
I'm
educational
the
bit.
producer who gave a famous teacher to many students, including one young man named Nicholas Copernicus, who would go on to elaborate on his theories and expand our understanding of this universe as we know it.
I kind of wish more things would end on the like freeze frame of the character and then what they went on to do. But most of our characters are dead and fictional, so like that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, they do that in Animal House, and then
No, I mean like they're fictional within the text of the thing as well.
Yes,
That's what I
yeah.
mean. Yeah. So I mean, like most characters and things are fictional. That's how it works. But I really like this as an ending. I wonder if it's going to piss off a bunch of people.
that's partly why I liked it so much. But yeah, I like it as well. But part of why I like it is
what's there to get pissed off about? I wouldn't get pissed off about.
None of the shit I watched was real. It's like, yeah, it's the idea that even the fictional setup we have for this fucking letter reaching this guy's ears makes him go, huh? And now we got fucking shit. I've forgotten what the word is. It's not even like universe centrism. It's the one where there is no fucking center of the universe.
Yeah.
Aliocent? No, that's not it. Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Begins with an A. I can't think of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's the idea that this idea persists on and is developed and stuff like that. And even if it came out of fucking pure nonsense fiction that some guy made up because it would be a cool story, it's this passed on thing. And even him just overhearing it, the idea hasn't been passed on to him. It's passed on to this guy who makes a lot of money off of it.
And also, it's good how like the modern day part of this fourth arc is the setting feels so tonally different to everything else. It's like
everything's just so chill. Yeah.
Yes, it feels more realistic. And
the heightened drama of the first bit. Yeah.
It's even that's probably why, because then when you have like you take a story about Raphael or even just like the weird atmosphere around in the confessional, this is meant to be the real world. So when it does, like it kind of shifts the tone that way. It feels all really eerie then.
It's like, oh, something's gonna happen in the confessional. Oh, it's really sinister, as all confession fucking boxes are. But it's like, nah, you just walk in, talk to the priest, fucking leave. Like it's just there's no harm here. No one's gonna fuck with you. No one's gonna stab you.
Yeah.
You'll be grand.
Yeah. Actual useful advice. And away you go. Yep, good show. Sure, I know people are finding it on Netflix, and I do think it's probably thriving better on Netflix than stuck in the melange of everything else that's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. I think it definitely has a different audience than a lot of usual manga stuff for sure. Yes. And it's probably a better place for it, sure.
Yeah, information just wants to be free, man. So they get out there. Hopefully, it's getting to people.
Then we've got Kinnikuman Perfect Origin Arc, episode 20. I think it's called Keeping the Master's Teachings at Heart. Is that the title?
I couldn't find the title for the life of me, but that sounds right.
First half, Robin Bask does what's it called? Naked London Tower Bridge.
So naked Tower Bridge crosses. Well, obviously he's more naked because he shed his restrictive armor now, but he's like also add a little twister where if he crosses his arms, you can bend Nemesis over his shoulders even more and split his ribs open.
He doesn't do it with his dick out. That's important. But other than that,
he's a gentleman.
So this it would be called a cross-arm Argentine backbreaker in wrestling parlance. And I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure it's impossible to do in real life.
Unless you had like, unless you were really big and the person was really small, I feel like you could do it. You know, that kind of way.
I think it relies on the sheer flexibility of the person you're doing it to. More than
actually, I guess
else.
that comes up because he does say he has a really flexible spine. So yeah.
That proves to be Robin Bask's undoing, is because it turns out Nemesis is incredibly supple.
I like the fact that it's like, what's your superpower? Oh, I'm half bear, half man wearing a bear costume. I'm Metataps. It's like, I got a supple spine and this mask that can do this, like close over my mouth. Pretty cool, right? But those seem to be his only power so far. Also, he knows all the Kinnikuman.
Just this like boundless well of arrogance. It's just like,
that's true. Yeah.
You split my ribs up in there. Pretty good, Robin Bask. Not good enough. But you won't get me. No way. It's like he's kind of getting him, man. You got to admit that.
But he gets Robin Mask more than Robin Mask gets him. And Robin Mask is hurled out of the ring and swallowed by the sand. They can't even heal him.
Robin Mask tries to do like a unfinished move on him. I think I saw someone saying what the fucking move actually was going to turn into, but I can't remember what the fuck it was. It's some wrestler's actual signature move because he's the guy who develops all the moves. But yeah, he throws him so hard he makes a tornado out of his corpse. We don't know because no body is found. No body, no death though. So
yes,
he's probably fine.
And then Terry
Man
has to remind Kinnikuman, yes, I understand you want revengeance, but we fight to find a mutual understanding. And,
that's what he would have wanted. Also, we all want revenge as well. That's the other thing. It's like you don't get personal. It's a group thing we do. It's like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Fight this guy until we're friends with him.
But my bear claws, man. Like I used my bear claws. What else did they for? But for getting revenge.
And then we get a brief recap of how terribly the perfect origin of doing so far in this contest. That they have lost most of the matches.
But they always feel that they win when they kill themselves at the end of the match. It's like, that's a moral victory. That's one. We're fine with that.
That's true. Yes, I did notice that it.
That's all you got down there. It's just a cipher and said, you guys all suck. All your friends are dead, pal.
You got one win. 4 suicides. I'm just talking like this fucking part, not even the first fucking part.
If you had one defection as well.
You had one defection. That's a super loss for a perfect Jojen, I think. Yeah.
Donna said, "No, he was shit anyway. We didn't want him. He was literally a little baby.
Stupid baby man."
15 certificate for suicide, violence, and injury detail.
Teaching kids strange things about the origin of the universe. Why are these Netflix programs and debating God's plan for us?
In case you're wondering, Puyuru is certificate 12 for abusive behavior.
I guess it is. Yeah, that's fair. He's very cruel to that slime.
Everybody is kind of cruel to everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Body horror.
Yes, that's fine. That is kawaii. Not to be questioned. The second half is Warsman versus Polar Man going at it.
Warsman, he's forgetting his discipline. He's using his cool claws and cool ways. And he just starts fucking going for him. But that's what the bear wants.
And obviously the bear's like, you call that a bear claw? This is a bear claw because I'm a bear and my claws are bigger, and sometimes I can form one of them into part of a machine gun. Not in this match, obviously, but yeah.
I couldn't, and I got too excited and I watched the next episode, so I can't remember exactly where this one ended and the next one began.
I think it ends on a thing of was like, and there will be more fight, but I'm trying to remember the exact point that it ended on. You know what I mean?
Well, Warsman is pretty busted up, and he's lost most of his cool claws now.
Yeah,
he's going to do something else, kind of. I don't know. I guess you can't rely on being the kill crazy mode anymore. You got to remember what Robin Mask taught him. Remember your fundamentals, and he will then
he does a Robin Mask move or something, and that's the thing that makes them go like, oh shit, he actually did learn something from his time as his apprentice. Yeah.
And I wanted to know, after seeing that unfinished movie tried to put off, he's probably going to I'm gonna fucking perfect it. I'm gonna finish it off. Right. That'll be the one that gets him over the line for this.
What I do love is just how busy Warsman's heads-up display is.
Oh, there's so much shit going on. I appreciate that on the top it just says fighting mode. It was just like, thank God you can turn that off. Like if you need to go to the shops or something like that, you don't want that on all the fucking time. He also has a battery like he's a fucking Eva or some shit. He's like, oh shit.
We get his origin story next week. Which I was like, I don't remember this origin story when I was watching the original cartoon. Well, no, because this origin story didn't appear until 2008.
See, as far as I'm aware, I was just like, damn, that Kinnikuman beat me. oh, cool, a Russian robot. I'll train him to fight. That's all I know. So I'm excited to learn.
I think that's all it was originally, and now
Okay, fair enough.
we get.
But now he has self-doubt. I just want to be friends. You always see me at the fighting computer. I'm just like this killing machines. I'm like, show him I'm a cool dude like them.
I know he's a very popular character, so I
yeah.
suspect that's why he got the origin treatment.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone who was in that NES game that I played before I knew Kinnikuman was a thing as a small child is just like those are the popular characters. Is my understanding, and he's in that. So
well, so yeah, this again, like is one of those ones that like it helped to bring in. We won't kill the villain or the rival. Like you might like get them to turn over to ourselves because. Oh, that design was so cool. Why did you kill him? It's just like he's back to life now. He's our friend. It's just like yes, that's right. We want more wars, man. We want more of all your favorites. More T-shirts, more merchandise, more action figures.
We do see this. I'd forgotten how shaggy Robin Mask's hair is without the mask on.
I thought he put a wig on over like a human mask, but yeah, maybe that's why he has to keep it in the helmet. That like mop, just like that, it just compresses it, that kind of thing.
It's got a double mask on just in case.
And of course, he dresses like wrestling's idea of how a British person dresses.
Like some kind of aristocratic Captain Harlock or something like that. I don't really know. Like it's extravagant, basically.
The puffy sleeves, yeah. It's just don't go around this. This is in the year of our Lords when we write this again, 2008.
Then next on the list is Zenshu, episode 11, Despair.
No!
Which there's a whole lot of despairing going on. Luckily, Yudio's here to save the day.
It's a good thing he wasn't killed off at the start of the movie because he comes in he comes on a pinch and
this things are fucked. They're fucked on the outside. Well, we got to say last time about like Minilla now has that sweet eye patch going on.
Oh yeah. That it's a good character design thing. That it's still her. You know what I mean? She doesn't act any different with the eye patch. And I'm pretty sure her friends are just fixing
QJ,
yeah, which is like that's the big surprise. He's
nothing
a
evil. We're actually good, doing something good up here.
Yeah,
that's not enough for Luke. It's just like, well, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe like I'll just bake another pie and they'll come back and then they won't all be dead. He's just really like this is the like last straw. He's gotten that bit in the film where he's lost it all. He's just going to smash that stupid soul future. This is all your fault.
Yeah, and again the people going, it's like, hey, we killed the evil witch. We killed her. It's like, hey, did we just kill Unio? No, we definitely killed the witch. Hey, there's another one. They managed to kill another one, but they all get fucking massacred by those.
It is quite funny of all the people who are big jerks getting hit by the voids at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
And then midway through, the episode comes to life because I was not really feeling the first half of it for the most of it, but it comes to life when you're inside the void.
Because I think the first half of the episode is a redux of it. Instead of our robot being the last guy alive, it's our elf being the last one alive, and it's the same thing. Like we've seen this version of the plot happen before. I was like, yeah, he's good. Like he doesn't quite do the like grabbing his own face in utter despair thing, but he's basically like everything's ruined, my life is done. But then we get the more interesting bit.
Yes, which is Natsuko being haunted by the people in her life whose faces she can't remember. They all just have their fringes over their faces.
Just in case it wasn't clear that what that meant for her as a character design. It's like, and even the guys who are like, that guy doesn't have much hair on his head, but it's like swept in front of his face in a way that does not make any fucking sense. It's great.
Yes, chastising her, and then we see Unio outside of this, realizing that he's got to reach her, and tries to reach her through psychic unicorn powers because she's still got his old horn in her pocket. But the scribble is still holding him back.
But he has to, it's to kind of like accept and acknowledge the effect that she has had on his best friend, and that can be maybe your approach to anybody in a crayfish like who you admire is just like
I
I like them, but man, they'd probably be like a real bummer to hang out with. It's just like I don't like you, I hate you, I was hanging out with Luke and my best friend with me, but I love your drawings because they make him happy. And he's been like a changed man since he met him. I gotta admit that. So it's just like, yeah, like sometimes you're friends with something and you think like the maker of it is kind of, oh, that director is a piece of shit, I hate them. But my friend seems to like them, I don't want to take away.
Yeah, but being able to appreciate the things that are positive about someone who you actively fucking dislike is a good way to make that kind of connection. I like the fact he makes the connection not with unicorn magic or by banging on the window or whatever, but like through his words and like letting his feelings be known. I love what you do for my best friend.
And like Natsuko has met the director of her favorite film in bird form, and she was a real pill, a real wagon altogether. So. But she still loves that film. She still loves that film. Still loves the characters, and having those characters in her heart is what's gotten her through most of her life. Because anytime she needs to draw something very well from memory or added in, Taylor Parrish characters got in there. It got her first like legit job in an animation studio. It passed the test for saying, "Just draw all my boys are going in. Look at this go. Look at this go."
I did like the combination of like her going through her whole life backwards and the people with the hair over their face telling her she's a motherfucker, she's a failure, she'll never amount to anything, including the fictional character from the movie that she has not finished yet. But like, and then kind of working her way back forwards with positivity of like, here's what this fictional character meant for me. Here's how they kind of bolstered me. They got my interest in it. Luke's always been there for me. He's not real, but he's always been there for me. That's
the thing I'm always a sucker for. Like, you know, would the kid you like think you're a cool person right now? Would the kid you like, you know, like be impressed by this? Would they think it's cool? Like, no, what was them like? No, what was that set all us off for you? Like,
and the contrast of like the first part where Luke is in despair when the pegboard, the peg bar dissolves in his hands and it's just her blood is left in his hands and he's like, I'm done, that's it, I'm killing that fucking crystal. And then we find out what the voice of the peg bar was, which was her as a kid. It's like, you gotta draw. I am your thing that you developed as a small child from watching this film of wanting to draw. I'm your love of that. And it's such a nice contrast of his like despair is like, oh no, the medium for drawing is gone. It's like, but the love of it's still there. Really good.
Yeah. And then it's very good that when Yunio reaches Natsuko, they both yell at each other and then turn to the screen and decide, okay, we're going to go rescue Luke. Still, they're on the same
turning
page,
to the screen because they're in the cinema at that stage. Like it's so good.
Morphs out of the cup holder in the seat.
That was such a good bit of animation.
There's all through that whole sequence. It's just like, oh, she's very seriously grappling with like her worst inner thoughts, but it's all like animation gets really loose. And it's like she's put on like little fun weird faces. She gets whacked in the back of the head with a basketball, and it just goes like badoink.
If it wasn't for Yunio like scooging out of a cup holder in the cinema, like my favorite other bit would be Yunio as a small child unicorn, very adorable, very like, which is weird because he's like, he already looks like a little kid, but you know.
Yes, but yeah, somehow him and Luke are also super adorable as tiny children. It's very well animated. It doesn't quite. I was comparing this in my head to Astronaut, because obviously the same writer from the same period last year, and Astronaut works a lot better for me because I think being sillier, I take it more seriously, and also there was never a film I had a relationship with as a child the way this character does.
I think there was like definitely ones that like I had, but like I've grown past. Never ones that I've carried with me to this. Like I carried with me, but never to the same extent. Yeah.
It may not necessarily. Maybe you can't go up and more abstract. It may not necessarily be like a film or an anime thing, but it was probably something like this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, oh, whoever made this, they are my dude. They are the one that I'm going to like, you know, anything they want is I'm going to be interested in, and that just toss something else in it that you can have. You follow that thread. If you go all the way back and find it, was probably something, maybe one thing that started it off for you.
Yeah.
But I don't carry anything in the same way she's carrying her love for this terrible film. And also because these were exactly the sort of films I did not like.
But they definitely inspired some animators to like get into the.
Yes.
Into
What
the
if
biz,
what
so-
if she died and she wound up inside the 2000 AD comic? Would that be?
No,
God, what an awful
that-
fate to happen anyway.
it would be, yes. No, I like it, but it doesn't connect to me in the same way that Astro Note did. Astro Note, by
It's
being
going for
silly,
something very different. Is the only thing.
it is, yeah. And also
Hmm.
Astro Note, I think it talks about more serious things by being sillier.
Right.
This is a sillier story than Astronauts, really, when you think about it. But it takes itself more seriously, and that's why it doesn't quite work for me, because it's fantasy as well.
Yeah, and you got to remember
I'm never a massive
she's going to
fantasy
wake
fan.
up from this at some stage.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's got the problem that there's another isekai show that connects more deeply to me because it's about a middle-aged man.
A middle-aged manga fucking geek, or sorry,
Yes.
anime geek. But yeah, so it's like.
Well, in fairness, lots of Natsuko's like references are those of a middle-aged person. So
That's
They are,
true. It's
yeah,
not quite
yeah.
as it's not quite as bad as Baby Driver and this teenager who's making
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not as bad
that
as.
sound like something a 40-year-old would make because a 40-year-old was making them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's no fucking what's that fucking shitty thing where they just fill it with essentially pop vinyl characters? Every character is in it. Spielberg made a
Funkos?
fucking. No.
Muppet Babies.
Close enough. It's not quite that level of thing, and it's more so like as someone who's interested in animation, she went back to all the classics, so at least there's a through line of logic there. But it is very much so. Yeah, you got some varied tastes there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking because I've watched the next week's episode as well, so I'm kind of preempting what my overall thoughts on it here. But I think episode 7 is my favorite, and I was like, well, that's the one where nothing fantasy happens. That's just the one happening in the real world.
Yeah.
But it's still a good series, and I would recommend it to people. And it's currently definitely going to be in the recommendations list for me for until it gets nudged out.
The other thing I'd recommend it for is people who are like fans of animation, because it's that kind of like you'll get the reference. It'll be that you'll kind of get the feeling of this. You kind of get like the things and themes it's talking about, in a similar way to Keep Your Hands Off Isoken, that kind of thing. The creative process, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like I guess like Kimiko Ueno is like been doing this for so long. He's bound to have kind of maybe a lot. He's been bound to have a few kind of like this say philosophies. I think she's been over time about how do you kind of keep coming back to this over and over again.
Yeah, sure.
You dig deep. You just give a little inner child what they need.
Yeah.
Then we've got Chibi Godzilla raids again. Episode 44 of season 2, Chibi Minilla runs away, and I forgot to watch this one, I think.
Oh no.
This is there's a few things this week that did make me laugh out loud, and the opening bit of Chibi Minilla giving out to Chibi Godzilla is like, hey, remember what I told you earlier? And he remembers it exactly. It's like, yeah, you said you got to clean up more around the place. Come on, you can't be leaving me to do all the tidying, that kind of stuff. And she's like, okay, so like what? And he's like, do you remember what I said? And she's like, no. And he's like, oh. And I was just like, that made me laugh really hard, because it was just such the like, let me imitate the noises I made as if I was listening. I was, but I was ignoring. That's the important point, which causes her to run away. But in protest, he also runs away. So by the time she manages to get to Chibi Geigen's tent, Chibi Godzilla is already there, mooching off of Chibi Geigen and this stuff. So she has to move in with Chibi Mechagodzilla, who is extremely pedantic about how he fucking lives his life. To the point where she moves home, but Chibi Godzilla has cleaned up and is probably not going to do that again. The end.
A valuable lesson, young man.
It's a good one, yeah.
Then we've got Skate the Infinity extra part.
Remember Skate? That was a good character one.
It was the thing of like how am I gonna remember all these characters? And because it's like just vignettes of everyone, I was like, oh, I remember all these characters. All these guys are great. I love them.
And they're all kind of color coded. The only thing which threw me was like the second story being a flashback to when they were. It wasn't clear because I was like, I don't think these guys were in school, were they? And then when you get the little recce come past, I was like,
I remembered they did a flashback in the show of them in school, but I forgot what Adam looked like. So I was like, wait, is this guy Adam? And it wasn't until they started saying each other's names. And I was like, oh yeah, he had pink hair. Yeah.
The mask
it threw me as well. Yeah. That's the other thing. And also, Adam wears a mask. I don't know. Maybe superhero fucking shit would work on me, and I would not recognize Superman and Clark Kent. Maybe. But everyone gets a little vignette thing.
Maybe the best one is like the Hiromi, who was like, "Oh, I'm the wild, like fucking like Detroit Metal City skater," and he's actually a flower shop dude. It gets like little shorts.
It's all stuff about him working in the flower shop. It's
leave it to Hiromi. It's just like, oh, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna like try and romance this like that lovely car sales girl who works with? Just like, oh nope, embarrassed again. He's getting there.
He has it in. If he wasn't such a fucking goober, he could probably ask her out and she'd be cool with it, because she does seem to like him because he's nice and powerful.
Just little title cards are good. Little like tiny hymns like up to start like, what does it all mean?
So the first part is Reki, Langa, and Mia go to the skate park, but it rains. There's the opening gag at the start is when Langa's correcting Reki on his use of English.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a gag about how Japanese people misuse English words. He's
the other thing about the shorts is
about pedantically.
Because they open with, we're going to go skating like regular kids, like go at the skate park and have a good time. It's raining. There's no fucking skateboarding in this entire fucking thing, and it's better for it. I'm not saying I don't like skateboarding, but the fact that they stayed away from that and just let the characters like just chill and not skateboard, very good. Good choice.
Because then it becomes they're stuck inside and they end up playing whatever that Karuta game is, where you're pulling the matching words off the cards.
Yeah, you're reading out the card, and you have to find the card they're reading out, isn't it?
Utagaruta. I'm sure that can't be how you pronounce it. So with the sister and the twins are there as well. So
like the sister was a semi-finalist in the best card game player in the thing, and it's like, that's either good or bad. we don't know. And also it's like, wait a minute, you don't fucking speak Japanese as your first language. It's like, that's a massive liability, and I'm an idiot. Fuck, we're in a lot of trouble.
But so then it's like the mirroring of, you take him off his English skills, and now you're struggling with your Japanese skills. Was a nice little mirror of the story. And then they lose by one set of cards, and then they've got to go and fetch ice cream on piggyback. And I was like, oh, I thought they were going to be piggybacking the sister and Mia up there, but no, they have to piggyback each other up the hill.
Brian, you have to remember, it's a very gay show. It's like we need to keep it homosexual for the kids.
I mean, like, when you're not watching, you don't have to do that. You can just say, no, we lost the bet, fair and square.
It is necessary, 100% necessary for them to do that. Also for them to switch halfway.
Yes, also we see in the flashback that Reki clearly likes giving people piggybacks, or being forced to give people piggybacks.
Poor Lange, like he did all his cards, they're all food related. So anybody says, I want to eat, they just like snipe it immediately. Oh.
Because it's kind of like the early Japanese, you learn, like, it's just like, I would like to go to the shops and buy some poutine. It's like, who could have said that?
Poutine. Who here? It's where poutine is from.
And the second one is Cherry Blossom and Joe in their school days when they're constantly fighting each other. My favorite gags in this is when they're doing the sports competitions. The close-up will look like they're doing something furiously and incredibly well, and then they'll pull out and they're either right at the back of the cross-country race or the jumps where they're just moving very slowly at distance, but super fast close-up.
Because the close-up is like in their heads, what the fucking stiff.
Well, they power up and they go like, I'm charging my key, and it's going, you can't catch me.
They're running on steam, essentially. Like, I think their fight in the class as well is like they were about to fucking hit desks on each other by the end of that thing. But then the teachers flicks the chalk at their foreheads at simultaneously. Like, good fucking aim. But
Yes.
I like the thing of it was like, this is in their head. The fight was never that fucking big in the class. They were just like flicking snot paper at each other. That kind of, they were being children. I also like
there was a great like authoritative "be quiet"
yeah.
out of the teacher.
Yeah. In English, because I guess it's English class or something. But I also like when they see the two kids like kind of like arguing with each other. It's like, man, kids have it great, man. Oh, what fond memories. And then they immediately go back to fighting like they are as old as these small children they are seeing fighting.
Because they have a contest where you can eat this ramen bowl the fastest, which seems to be the challenge that restaurant does.
Yeah, you get it free if you can eat it within 10 minutes or something.
So I call a snack.
And then they start talking about like what's really frustrating them is they can't find anything to take seriously, and they both spot this poster about skateboarding, and then they both decide they're going to take skateboarding seriously. And of course, they run off in opposite directions, but to meet up at exactly the same place at the skate shop.
But the board try to play cool fun, saying, "Hey, you go on. I'll catch you later. Now if I catch you first, good one." And then we're both so easily influenced by things.
One is a big dumb musclehead, the other is seemingly a smart guy, but they're both equally as fucking stupid. It's very good, yeah.
Then we got Adam and Snake. Presumably this is after the end of the series.
This one is because it's the super happy ending where it's a day in the life, and it is very funny.
Where Snake is asleep in all day.
And Adam's fucking, you know those, I was watching someone put up one of those, it's one of those like get up early and fucking profit fucking things where the dude has his mouth taped and he rubs his face with like a banana peel and he keeps dunking his face in Evian or some fucking shite. It's just like it goes through like the thing of the day and it's like, what the fuck is your life like, man? And it's obviously fake as shit. He probably rented
a lot
out
like Adam's actually.
But Adam's life is weird. It's like, and then it's like at 8:30 in the morning, equestrian. It's just like just wild fucking shit. You don't know what the fuck he's going to be up to next.
It's 3:30 and it's time to watch my creepy footage of Langa over and over again.
Yeah. Also, before the equestrian, he takes out the riding crop, and it's just like he was using that on himself before he was using it on the horse, right? It's like
no, he was combing his hair with it. It's all nicely done up now.
He gets 2 showers in a day, man. I don't think my skin can handle that. Like,
horses like they got powerful smell, so you can't keep walking around afterwards.
That's fair. Yeah.
At the remote on the other side of the screen, we just have Snake turning slightly from side to side in bed till about 4:30 in the afternoon. He gets out of bed.
Well,
you just see like the light coming under the curtains.
Alarm, and then another hour.
You just see the light kind of coming in the curtains, him twisting, him just react, sometimes not moving at all whatsoever.
He's still on time for his duties till it gets in there. It's just like, so how was your first day being free of my leash? It's just like, I got up at 11. Totally. Yes.
Yeah. Did you have a productive morning? It's like, yes, 100% productive. I slept till dinner, which is as sometimes when you have a day off, that's fucking necessary. That is being productive.
You do incur sleep debt, so I mean you get to pay some of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get lots of homoerotic dog metaphors before Adam decides that S is now going to be a dog show. And you'll be, rather than just a race, you'll be scored for style and presentation. And
beauty.
And we'll
character.
assess this by...
These are shots of all of our skateboarders like showing up for the different categories.
If they were a dog, what kind of dog would you be?
That they'd score well in, and it's just like, and it will be audience vote. So all those randos in the fucking background won't be just cheering on the drone cam footage. They'll be actually voting on it, and it's just like, well, that sounds really nice, Adam. It sounds like this is actually going to be really cool. It's like, yeah, it is going to be really cool.
No evil. I swear.
I'm going to put it in a weird, evil, creepy sex way because I'm calling them dogs at my dog show, and it's just like, but other than that, it's like yeah, majority vote and everything. I'm not the king of shit no more, so it's cool. That's nice. This is a nice setup. It's super happy ending.
Oh, really grown.
Yes, I like the way he just comes across slightly nicer than he was before.
No longer use my kinks for evil.
Yes, I narrowly avoided going to prison at the end of the previous series.
But he does have a lot of money, so yeah.
Well, he only know he got away because he turned in the other people who were involved in the crime he was involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good to see them all back again. Well, he was definitely better than Buchigiri.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Buchigiri ain't getting no fucking what to do in this because they wound back exactly where everyone started in that.
Yeah.
Multiple times, actually. So, but it just makes it fun. It's, yeah, like, you know, it has like, it had to do like a recap one after they really had to crunch it near the end. But it still, like, stuck the landing, so to speak, pretty well.
Yeah.
It's like, and it was such a long, like, wasn't there any more of this? This was like the money thing. And then, like, we were getting this, like, way after the fact.
Yeah. And like, again, retroactively kind of look at it, it definitely was better at being gay and homoerotic in a way that wasn't weird and then kind of lost steam halfway through. I felt like there was even like you say when it had to rush, like it did stick the landing and everything. So it's a more satisfying thing, and this is just a nice, well after the fact treat to have on top of it.
Then we got Dr. Stone, Science Future, episode 11. Those who know the rules, those who make them. In which a bit of sleight of hand does not work quite as elegantly in cartoon form as it did in the comic.
It's still good. It was.
Yeah.
I was still going like, yeah, but like, yeah, it was definitely better reading it for sure. That's often the case.
Because they have to like because this in this episode there's somebody pretending to be Stanley Snyder, so Stanley Snyder can sneak on board our hero's ship via a submarine.
But all through that dogfight, you know, the inner monologue is in his voice.
Yes.
But who's to
That's
say
where they
that
try and get
maybe
away with
like
it,
when
yeah.
he's waiting on a submarine phone saying, if I was flying that plane right now, what would I be thinking?
And if it was presented more as like commentary, like he was watching it from the outside, rather than it's like, huh, how did they get up there? It's just like, no,
I think,
like that,
I think
that
it's
doesn't
got to
work.
be this. I think the surprise is what you got to keep the surprise. So you've got to do it this way. It's not like where they just essentially go, well, it's pretty fucking obvious who this is, so we're not going to bother hiding the voice.
We cannot hide this. His voice is too distinct. Yeah.
We'll just trust the viewer that they're going to be fine with this. Whereas here, there's got to be, the characters have to be surprised that Stanley Snyder was on the submarine plane.
Yeah. I thought, they're building a fucking submarine. I thought the submarine came way later, but it was right here.
Yeah. Because again, I was like, I'd forgotten what they were making at this point. I was like, I'm not gonna reread it because it was a nice surprise. I was like, oh yeah, it's a fucking submarine with a explosive. I forgot what those things that you have on the front of ships for stabbing into other ships is.
A ram.
Yeah, an explosive ram, I think is the thing of it, because you keep it on like a long pole so it doesn't damage your ship.
Cool.
Yeah. So essentially, our hero's trick was we salvaged your plane and made it into our plane, and we're going to fight you. And
we're just going to we were like, oh, we got a machine gun. And he's like, oh, fuck, I better keep away from him. So we get into a dogfight. And it's like, it's a good thing he doesn't know that we don't have a functional machine gun.
Yes. And of course, this is actually a distraction from what their real trick was building a giant drill, which we drilled into your base. And oh, you think you've got us, but no, there's the most muscular teenager alive pointing a sword at your face.
Double checkmate.
Yeah, it works well as the double checkmate thing, and it is kind of like I think the way it works in the show of the all is lost, you've super lost, we've taken your base, so you can't even land this fucking plane anymore. It doesn't matter who wins the aerial dogfight. That was a distraction. Well, we take your boat, and I was like, this whole thing was a distraction, so we could take your fucking leader with our drill and muscular teenagers.
And because you don't see Chrome's team
for the entire episode,
the very end of the episode.
No.
That makes it more the distraction on the science youths. Yeah.
Well, you think, oh, maybe there's some kind of fight back here because Maz and Matsukaze, they funded, they're ready to go. They're new and improved now. Matsukaze even saying, even just like, grenades are new to me, but I spent like my whole sword fighting career knocking away Medusa devices, so it's like, they're gone.
Yeah. And your man just going like with a spear is just like, yeah, I bet those guns are real scary to people who know what the fuck a gun is. Not me.
I'm crazy.
And everyone like kidnapped on the surface. I appreciate our meat woman is actually very useful as well, and all the other soldiers are fucking terrified of this. She should be a cave woman by all intents and purposes, but it is apparently from the 21st century, so who knows? But they're all tied up and kind of like, look at this creepy guy like coming in front of the ship. It's like, you want to take the women? I see. Yes, a good plan. That's what I do. And they're like, I'm so glad he's on our side, but fuck that guy, man. We all fucking hate this guy so much. It's a good tag team of guys who do not know what a gun is versus a lot of men with big guns.
Yes. That final bit with Zeno's face when the sword is suddenly pointed at it is...
It's a very good expression.
I shouldn't have sent everybody to do that thing. I got a little bit too all in there. Had to love when fake Stanley is just like coming out like fun and saying she's gonna fall off that plane like and be kind of strewn about in what pose exactly? Yep. I could see every that bodysuit is nothing to the imagination.
To be fair, if Fuichi had drawn Stanley in that position, it would have been the same one. Like the butt would have been as on display as on Stanley.
No,
as
like,
on
of
fake
course
Stanley,
that's Stanley. So. He's got a much tighter and firmer behind. Something I never dream of having.
Yeah.
But man, it does like really reinforces like, oh well, like if you saw Stanley, I thought it felt kind of weird about that. But if only he was a woman, then he'd be perfect. Well, here you go.
And
have both.
In terms of the distraction as well, like I really like the dogfighting bit where we have the why did they bring the manga artist on the ship? I don't fucking know, but they brought the manga artist and he's like, I can fucking tell you all the dogfight maneuvers. I like the music that's playing over it. I was like, this all feels pretty good. And the fact that they win, but they still fuck it up because Senku has been shot and is still not recovered from it, and also was a fuck up. It's those two things. Caught by their own acetylene gas, I think, was the problem.
What they doing for the manga artist? They got him just for like a one thing they needed done quickly. Like
it wasn't to make money, was it? They needed him to draw something, but other than that, I'm not sure he's done anything.
Maybe
else.
It was the money. Yeah, we need someone to start putting these bills up.
I think he comes into is he drawing the maps for them as they go?
That might be it. Yeah.
Obviously, he's mainly there for the two creators to take the piss out of themselves.
Yes, yeah, very much so. This is exactly kind of nerd we is like, yeah. So that it's a good bit.
While in America, he drew a detailed layout of the forest, the Perseus, and the distance to the enemy castle using the painted hexagon tiles to act as a war table.
That's his doing. Yeah, the little war game.
Yeah,
okay. He's more the in-house artist and graphic designer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we got that scene in the anime of him.
No, it just jumped straight to the hex grid.
No, I do just finishing it, just putting the last two in as they're having the war meeting. It's like,
okay.
Just made a deadline there.
He later witnessed and explained the aerial battle. Minami remarked that he was oddly talkative while that was happening.
Generally you stay pretty quiet during most of this comic, but...
I once did a dogfighting manga. Almost killed me, but the pay was brilliant.
And I think he'll get something in the next season as well. But then I don't think he'll get much more after that.
Does he have a name? That's the other thing I meant to ask.
He does. He is Tetsuya Kinnimoto.
Okay.
That's the guy. And so it's double checkmate. What's going to happen next? Well, probably we'll wrap the season up next week, and I think everything happens pretty quickly after this point.
Yeah, we'll be done with North America pretty quick, basically. Yeah,
imminently, actually.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. And then we'll be on to the next bit. Yeah,
and then we got Wheeling and Dealing in Trillion Game, episode 24. I love news.
He doesn't. He's lying.
But she does. Akari, who feels like the most Dr. Stone type character we've met so far, of like who's absolutely sincere about the thing she loves and is going to get manipulated by the main character.
But she's also very good at the thing she does, which is very Dr. Stone as well. Like a lot of characters.
Girl reporter.
Over
here on the scene.
Yeah. So sorry, no.
My favorite thing about this episode is there's absolutely no suggestion that Haru is responsible for the two things they report on, But
It's in the back of your mind, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
did you start that fire?
did you push that tree onto the railway line?
It's an act of vandalism that he's 100% capable of, or at least getting someone else to do, and it's just like very convenient. And the fire is like next door to the news building as well, so they
And
can
he's
definitely be the
already
first
got-
guys on the scene.
And he's already got the helicopter bought and paid for, rented for a
And
year.
and the logos of the news fucking thing are already on the fucking helicopter. He has planned this. How did he
Anybody need
get
on
the
this?
information? Was he like scrolling fucking the social media to see when the next news thing is?
Well, exactly. I mean, did you start that fire?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Like, social
but that's
media is quick, like, but is it that
Yeah.
quick?
yeah.
But that's the good thing. It never asks that. The episode story never asks that question itself.
Yes, yeah.
It's just
yeah.
at this point in the story, you're asking that naturally because you know what this guy's like.
You know
like-
he's doing crimes left, right, and center, like as much as he can get away with, and sometimes more. But yeah,
I suppose I'm trying to say, like, the regular news on linear TV, just can't keep up with kids and social media. That's where they get all their news from, whoever wrong and ill-informed it might be. But even then, it's like, it isn't that fast, though.
because the initial thing is, this is it's a smaller, less popular TV station, mostly because it's like variety shows and drama shows are shite and no one likes them. But their
But the
news is
news
actually
is-
their news is solid, but that doesn't really get you a lot of attention. So they were overlooked by Kirihime in terms of buying out every fucking network and that kind of shit, or buying a share in every network. So when he goes up to them initially, he's talking like, this is like when someone like was rejected at a dating type thing, and then they're easier to fucking pick up. So he's just being overly complimentary. He's like, oh man, we fucking love the work you do. It's just like top notch shit. And the head of it's just like, yeah, we don't know about being bought by an up and coming company that just started like this fucking year. So no, I mean, like, we'll think about it, but for now the answer is fucking no.
Well, see,
So-
that dude is sharp with that. That's the reason
Yes.
he gives right then. But then if you go to all this all of us, like, oh, you just be always there, like, with a helicopter ready for us to help us out, and we take about this paper and take off. So maybe we'll do something with this right now. And then, before I signed, though, why do you want like news channel? I just love the news. Yeah, cut the bullshit, kid. Why do you really want the news? Well, I'm saying, well, I don't want the news. What I want is the power. It's like, okay, but now we have an understanding.
Yeah, it's the thing of like the actual head of it is, despite his fucking, did he have a shitty comb over? Oh no, he didn't have a shitty comb over. He had the scraggly sideburns, like the really really loose ones. It's like, that's a bad haircut, man.
But he knows his shit. Like, he had him
He does know his
sussing it
shit.
and walked in the room. Like, that's I've got a lot of dudes that's like Haru encounters with and kind of get
Like
that
the
respect
woman who ran
for.
the flower company. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, you want to
Yeah.
check. You have sussing to walk in the room as well. It's just like, well, you gotta like be as like put a ball to something like this, I'll at least hear you out. You kind of
yeah.
listen.
They're smart people, but they're not. Their businesses haven't necessarily been successful. So it's again the Dr. Stone thing. You're really good at what you do, but because of fucking economics and shit, you just haven't happened to do fucking well. But because he's rejected in that initial thing, it makes me think, yeah, did he do a bunch of fucking crimes in order to really make sure that this worked out? Because he needs. It's like, I don't need to convince the guy at the top. I need to convince all their top guys below that, and mostly two top people, which is their lady reporter, who's like the top-notch, like earnest lady reporter, and the very cynical director of the news, who's just like, I cannot admit that she's really good at her job.
Yes,
He's got a real like shitty Perry White kind of news director type personality.
You've got to think about the ratings, not about the public interest.
But ratings are different in online stuff. It's like, I only look at the numbers. Just get me numbers, kid.
But
Yeah.
Haru sees through that cynicism and realizes this is a guy who does actually love the news, and I'm going to trick him
Look at
into
this.
loving the news again by treating him to a helicopter.
But he loves the news in a different way than she does. She's like, the people need to be informed. The people want to be informed, and I'm here to fucking do that. I'm
Yeah.
run like the guy commenting. I've never seen anyone run with toast in their mouth before, and she's running with toast in her mouth to the fire to report on the fire.
Oh my gosh, she's got blood all over her face. Oh no, it's jam cut.
But that's on the fucking screen, and that just makes people like her more. Especially
just
our,
the phone like the director editor do is like like the human angle. Look at this, people exiting the train, forced to walk in the middle of rush hour. I can't believe it.
Yes,
and
well,
commenting
that's
like
his
I
thing.
can see I can see a young man helping an old lady out of the train. It's just like the human thing rather than footage of a fucking tree that fell over, which is not very exciting and not very newsworthy.
Yes, because his thing is he knows what all the other news crews are going to take the photo, the camera, put the camera on. He knows what they should put the camera on. It's just he'd
Where
never
the
been
train
able to put the
stopped,
camera
yeah.
on it before because they don't have the cash to do this normally.
Mm-mm.
But you've got to treat me to a year's worth of a helicopter.
I like Kenjiro Suda, which means if you're going to bring Kenjiro Suda into him, it's going to stick around. I like him as a sim. He's usually plays a kind of cool, suave guy. Him as this like kind of potato of a man. That's what he is, buddy. But he knows his shit about the news.
Yeah. There's a bunch, like, as new characters introduced, they really fit with the weirdos that we have, like our game developer guy being like, oh man, she's totally cute, she's totally my type, and then we see the ratings, like she's like number 10 most popular. She's way down the list of popular news.
Well, that's it's above 11 and 12. I don't know how many ones you got in town, but it's pretty high.
But there's way more pretty attractive popular ones than her, but she's in the top 10.
Yes,
and her arriving on their company and just asking them, why do you want to buy the news company? Give me the reason. Like, give me the literal fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, and just 100% direct, no fucking beating around the bush. Just I'm just asking the questions, reporting the facts, no fucking messing around.
Yes, because
I have to correctly identify.
Remembers. Yeah, he remembers what Haru told him about how to spot people who are bullshitting. Is they'll give a second reason for something.
Ask the reason why they're doing a thing, and it's like, ask them, is that the only reason? And then if they're bullshitting, they'll come up with a second thing because they're not confident in the first thing. I'm just not confident in life, so I will come up with second or third or fourth or fifth. That's just me. That's not because I'm lying. But
and there's multiple occurrences in this episode where Rin and Gaku are horrified to see Haru sitting right next to them, just lying, just lies pouring out of his face.
They're very sincere characters, but they also know it's like, we have to shut the fuck up and not like we got a poker face here and not fucking let on. It's like, oh my god, he said the most fucking erroneous bullshit we've heard today from him.
Look, there's the same thing, and we will work it up on the back end to get it all to stick. All right.
Yeah, which then begins to make you wonder when the guy with the terrible sideburns calls him on his bullshit, and he says, "Oh no, I'm not interested in the news. I'm interested in the advertising revenue." I was like, "Is that the lie that fits this guy?"
But the other thing is, like, your man even kind of going over him is just like, I've got the fucking stamp right here. I'm ready to sign the fucking papers. Give me your fucking reason. And
that is just another lie, because his real reason his long-term reason is to influence public opinion against Dragon Bank.
Because I think the thing is, like, the news company is going to take 100% of the revenue from the newscast, the ads that are attached to that. So he's like, what's in it for you? And he's like, we're going to fucking make money off of this in a way you can't imagine, old man. You know, it's not insulting like that, but he is kind of shocked. It's like, whoa, okay, you're scaring me now.
That's the whole thing, like, with another bit of it to go and make for this very interesting viewing into how Japanese telly works, considering the Fuji TV scandal and how the other ads got pulled and how does it work like that. It's like, oh, Trillion Game is so educational.
Because it does come up, like, we don't have the funding of public access, but as Haru points out to him, public access can't make money off of fucking advertising the way online fucking news can. Your man's like, oh, that's a good point.
I did compare this to the live action episode, and it's different things are occurring because the live action thing cannot afford a helicopter.
Sure.
Ever hop on my drone?
A news van, maybe? Could they afford a van with a vinyl on it? Is that what they do?
It's like a stabbing at a convenience store is one of the things.
That's okay. Besides setting the building on fire, if Haru set up a stabbing, that's a worse.
I'm not sure anyone has got stabbed. I think it might just be someone holding up a convenience store with a knife.
With Trillion Game, it will give you your own armed response unit to accompany you to the scene.
I am also worried I'm hoping that the following episode is an anime original arc and a live action original arc and won't be in the manga or the anime, given that it's about them then investing in a AI anime company, which I
I feel
suspect
like
I suspect it may just exist because TBS had invested in an AI anime company. And
like it was a hot button topic. But you're not going to attract any animators to your show by fucking talking about AI animation in your fucking thing. Yeah.
I
I
also
mean,
started.
the show has talked about AI before, but it is a fucking scam, and we are
Yeah.
bullshitting with it. So I mean, it understood the hot button topic, but also to talk about it as like, yeah, as a scam, we get it.
I was looking at the news relating to that episode, and it did seem to be like explaining the companies who did the AI animation for that episode. I was like, okay, yeah. I think TBS may have got scammed, or they put money into this particular company and wanted to make sure they got use out of it.
Right. They had to fucking use it. Okay.
But if that is part of it, I assume we won't see it this season. I see one episode left, the collar of money, which is a great episode title.
I'd be okay if they did AI animation in this show this season or not. If you get the animators to draw the worst fucking looking shit you've ever fucking seen, that would be pretty funny.
Do it all
with
your offhand.
Yeah, exactly. Everything off model. Do not refer to the model
Yeah.
sheets. That kind of thing. Yeah.
The live action was kind of presenting it as Gaku's done it again. His ace computing skills.
Yeah, fucking tool in more ways than one.
Yes, we'll see whether that's part of it. I did start reading the simulpub of the comic that Viz manga now have, which means
Like you're reading it up to date or reading it back from the earlier stuff?
I'm reading the stuff that's up there. So there's a massive gap.
Oh, okay.
3 volumes so far, because I've got 3 volumes physical.
Yeah.
And then there's like the past month and a bit chapters.
God,
it's some narrative whiplash jumping that far ahead.
Good or bad?
Gaku's on drugs.
It's like I think good, but it's
so different.
Kind of, it's thrown certain narrative elements into question.
Okay.
So far, but there's definitely stuff there that was foreshadowed in these 24 episodes we've watched so far.
Right. So there's also
stuff
about.
where you're like, okay, do I now have to ignore all that?
Yes.
But yeah, there's 2 things going on at the same. There's 2 scams happening via different characters currently.
Okay.
One of which is investing in a baseball team.
That is definitely a scam that has been pulled many times.
It's also a way to launder money.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other one is a much bigger. And the other one is a much bigger spoiler, so I can't say anything.
That goes on drugs. But not really.
There. Next up, this week we've got the last thing from Bureaucrat to Villainess. Dad's been reincarnated, episode 11. I forgot to write the title.
Dad gets into an elegant pickle.
He does. His pickle is that he can't speak like a commoner because the
elegance cheat.
It's too damn elegant. You can't stoop to that kind of language.
No, he literally can't. Like, the elegance sheet was on when he was isekai'd, and he does not know how to turn it off. So when he reads commoner dialogue in his old man voice inside the small girl's brain,
come on, we do this. What you get is just like, oh, you foul creatures. It's like, no, it's all wrong.
That is a problem. Yeah, because he has to play the. It's not the Prince and the Pauper. It's Freaky Friday.
Well, basically is, but rather than them being like identical twin cousins, they just magical fairy swaps their bodies entirely
for the day or something like that. So yeah, it's just like, but you got to play 2 roles. You got to play the prince and also the prince's body occupied by the pauper.
It's more like Face Off, where you got to play Nick Cage and John Travolta at the same time.
And I love Face Off. I don't think they necessarily did a good job, but I did enjoy them doing it, and that's the important part.
This is how they made my magic happen, Dwayne. Series of bizarre coincidences and magical powers.
Yes, because Grace's mum turns out was a freak, when she wrote this play. It's got far too many characters in.
No, it's not just that there's too many fucking characters in. It's that all the parts are written perfectly for the modern day student council, even though it was written like 30 years ago.
Well, again, is that like a commentary on the setups of these games anyway? Everyone saying, well, it's student council in one of these games, so it's going to have like the handsome prince one, you're going to have kind of like the stoic one, you're going to have the hot-blooded one, you're going to have the little like the kind of the bookish one, you're going to have the little annoying kid-like one.
Those are the slots they have to fill in a student council. Yeah, sure, okay.
Or in your Otome game, say.
Yeah.
So they recruit Francette, who is going to rewrite.
Who should have been
the
the best friend character from the start, but since Grace has not been the villainess this entire show, it's like, oh, it's good. The best friend character has finally showed up. That says the daughter. It's like it's weird that it's here, but at least she's getting some love.
Yeah, and so they got to prepare for the play. They can't rewrite the play because it's too perfect, she says. So, and the dad's
I
like,
don't think it's too perfect. I don't think she wants to take one fucking scene of boys dressed as girls out of this fucking play. It's like, I think she physically can't.
That wasn't what Grace was asking. Grace was asking for her role to be reduced.
Yeah.
She can't play both parts.
Just like cut away from me as soon as like all of my shit's happening.
And then the cliffhanger is the dad saying, "Oh, you better get those lines right, Grace, otherwise you're going to send your mother back into the sick bed."
She's coming here for one night only.
The dad saying that, and the butler going like, "Please, sir, I don't think it's quite that bad." And obviously the dad in the daughter's body going like, "Oh shit, he's right."
Yes, but it's just a joke because this would never happen. You'd never get it wrong, would you, Grace? What a funny joke for me to say.
You're perfect in every way. Every way.
Dear.
So, yeah, that's the crisis facing us for our final episode.
Will the school play go right? Will it kill her mother? Find out.
I guess the killing the mother, because it wouldn't be high enough stakes without the mother killing potential. Yeah.
Yeah, making me think as well of like, besides her sort of ambiguous presence in the story of the world itself, is that you also somebody who has been pulled into this game and is aware of its conventions.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, because I was wondering, like, how much is the story of this play somehow reflecting elements of the actual story?
And if the mother is like someone like the person who made the fucking game, like brought into the story, is like, I'm gonna write this as if it was the game I'm making, like someone who's aware of the genre conventions or something like that.
Yeah, because Fran's like she's got a camera which is the in-game screenshot taking ability, but nobody else recognizes it as a thing. Like, what is that thing? And it's very fun having Fran there because she behaves in the story now. We've got a character who behaves like the daughter and the mother are behaving, sit on the sofa.
It's also funny that she was supposed to be like the character in the game that becomes the PC character's best friend, so she can explain the lore and all that thing, because she's the nerd character. She can explain all the interrelated stuff. But we've gotten the opposite with Grace as the old man Grace, who has no fucking idea of any of the fucking shit in this world and needs everything explained to him, basically.
Well, like Kenzaburu's kind of frame of reference, it's like, you're working together with a bunch of different people on a project on sides of it, but you all, you coordinate and you get stuff done, and it might mean it might need to be we'll go over scripts one day and punching them up. You might be like, being a stagehand another day. Reminds me of my time, like, printing up dojins for the festival, along with my partner.
Booth babe
and
is
later
what she's putting it.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I assume the booth babe was just like the thing in his mind was like, whoa, what a babe! Rather than like she was actually there to be that. I assume she was just involved in the dojin they were working on.
It was just kind of cute, fun. Said, you find
it was
your college day. That's nice.
And there's like one very good repeated like Grace reaction face when she just turns to the camera and looks very sort of plain faced and anxious about what's going on.
Whenever like social link go up, he's just like, no, you can't. No, that's more. Anna is the star of this.
Yeah, it's the think of like the Miss Piggy with like her mouth like being drawn in, but as a
Yeah,
face. It's that face. Yeah, yeah.
This angry was more just like trepidation. It's
Yes.
like,
Yeah, that's it for this week. I assume we get the final one next week. And then wait for a second season. Hope we did well enough. Or wait for someone to license the manga and start reading that instead.
I'll be fine with that too. Yeah.
I'm fine with watching it because a lot of the you can get more of the just real world references put in. Getting that whole cover of the Galaxy Express 3 times. I was like, oh, just busting that out.
That's true. Musically, it has been a delight. So yeah. I still watch the end theme because I'm just like, yeah, this is
all
a
the way,
banger.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That's it for this week. I don't think anything new starts early. I noticed Witchwatch is starting really late, like April 27th or something.
Well, you could have seen it in the cinemas, but you've missed your chance now.
Well, Sailor V, I can wait.
It probably would be fine from what I hear. It's just like, yeah, it's just like 3 episodes of a sitcom put together. It doesn't really kind of flow as like this thing for a start of a film. Like not many of them really do. It's really just, hey, you want to see a bunch of this at once? There you go.
Like I'm thinking on the Sakamoto days one. Like, sorry, no.
Yeah. I'm saying Dad to Dad was like, it's 3 episodes of the story, and then you're missing the ending when I went to see that at the cinema.
Yeah, that's not a satisfying way to do it.
Sorry. Like, if there was some like upfront like interview with the director or something, but that could be then informed.
Yeah, that adds more to it. Certainly as an experience. But I hope that Witchwatch is going to be like this week's Sakamoto days in terms of like just random vignettes of nonsense kind of happening, because it does those very good in the comic. So like keeping the comedy up will be the key.
Or is this the dub date? Oh, that's the dub date. Okay, we're fine. April 6th is the general.
Okay.
Okay. I think the thing was shortened on the B-Sky link, and I couldn't click through earlier because Anime News Network was being too busy. Yeah, April 6th for that. Yeah, I think then the first thing is, I guess, no sign of anybody with the that thing about the World's Fair mascot. I think that started a few weeks ago.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I know. It's it's quite the deluge there. So.
Yes, I know. I was talking of like, oh, anyone to watch 6 things, and there's far more than 6 that have caught my eye.
There's a couple. I judged a bunch of them are within days of each other as well, or a day, often the same day actually.
It's a good problem to have, but it is a problem. Yeah.
Spring is usually pretty stuffed up.
Yeah.
To do half now, we can get the other half across summer when it's usually a bit more of a fallow period.
Yeah, the my Conan movie watch update is Detective Conan: The Raven Chaser is good. It's a good film. It's about the Black Organization, and it's I think it's doing the thing with the One Piece movies do, where it's like the themes of the film reflect what the themes in the comic are at this point. Which it definitely didn't do with the previous Black Organization.
Right.
So it's kind of like a bit about like how Jin and Vermouth are different. Then there's Detective Conan: The Lost Ship in the Sky. That's really good. If I was recommending a Detective Conan film to watch, might be this or 6 or this, the 6th one or this one, because this one is Die Hard on a dirigible.
Yeah,
pretty good.
And it kind of sticks to that, and it's pretty thrilling. And it's a small child in the John McClane role, and rather than having a machine gun, he's got a football. And I was like, oh, maybe this is heralding in a great era of Detective Conan movies. And I watched Quarter of Silence, which opens with like a James Bond type cold open. It's like a big action sequence. It feels like a Lupin TV action sequence, but they've put more money into it than they ever do for most of these Lupin TVs.
Like starting right at the end of the heist kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that opens up with a train being blown up and derailed and flying off falling into a tunnel that the kids are driving through. So massive amount of action and carnage, and I was like, oh, okay, they're keeping up with the Lost Ship in the Sky, and then the rest of the movie till the end is a bog standard filler arc stretched out over an hour and a bit before.
Oh wow.
Okay.
They do the usual thing of one of the characters is so mad at a building he's going to blow it up. And I was like, okay, back on familiar ground.
So too many bombs in this town.
I did realize where that comes from. Is it's the Kurosawa film High and Low, where I think the kidnapper's motivation is he's mad at this building, the house that the main character lives in, as a sign of affluence. And I was like, okay, I think that's where this particular screenwriter gets that from, except he then adds bombs to the equation, because there's so many of these films where somebody is mad at a building.
If they do another culprit TV show, they should probably cover the bomb industry in Baker Town.
Well, we get it in the background a lot, don't we? Like, There'll be an unrelated scene to an explosion, and just a building will explode in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, but he hasn't gotten involved in it personally, is the thing. Yeah.
Can't save them all.
Yeah, you just keep on finding different reasons for people to be mad at a building. This was not. I don't like the look of it. That has been twice, but different reasons. One guy was blowing up his own buildings because he didn't like the look of them, and another guy was trying to blow up a building because it ruined the view.
I generally only come across these things from bits, so I pulled out of them at different times because Rand was doing some good karate, and it's like, oh, yep, there we go. The Rip and Chaser's got a good one, which I've used before. It's like, yes.
Yeah. But that opening action scene, A Quarter of Silence, I was like, is it called Quarter of Silence to sound a bit like Quantum of Solace? I think so.
Right.
Why would you copy that one?
It was originally in cinemas.
Yeah.
So, there was, Did he jump off a cliff and parachute? And parachute was Japanese flag.
No, it's very close though. He tries to. Well, he manages. That's not. No trying. He tries to outrun a flood at the end, and in order to stop the flood from destroying a village, he causes an avalanche, and then has to outrun the avalanche as well.
Yeah, you were saying something about trying to make the avalanche and the flood collide, and I was like, I feel like you just made a mudslide. And you haven't improved matters any there.
Some kind of omni disaster.
Yeah.
It does feel like he's a superhero in this film, both at the start and at the end. It's like just a 6-year-old Batman at this point.
Well,
also you got to compete with the Fast and Furious films. Basically, they went from being like a bunch of carjackers to G.I. Joe over the course of many films. So okay, I guess this thing's just one scale up. It's very hard to scale back down again.
It was just going that way. Yeah.
I think they generally have scaled back down.
Okay.
Certainly, I don't remember the Zero the Enforcer being this over the top. Which I think is the most recent one I've watched.
See, that was a popular one. I was like, no, this is the franchise reset. We're like, this is going to be like the tone of going forward. It's like when Toriyama took over writing the Dragon Ball films. It's just like, that's when it was like an actual change. Of substantial quality,
I will say I'm persevering through them. I took a break for a bit because it was getting a bit despondent, but I was buoyed up by 2 good ones this week. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with more of the same. Then we'll do some different stuff.
Yeah. Look forward to it. Please look forward to it.